Hey there, my name is Przemek and here is another Newsflash video. So let's discuss some of the latest news from dark ambient, dark industrial, dark whatever world. Again, quite a lot of news, so this video will be most likely quite long again. So let's begin. Skrika returns to Cryo Chamber with its third album, Vieltira Vortex. It's a British dark ambient project by Monty Atkins, and it seems that the name means to scream in Norwegian. I mean Skrika. And according to the label, the album is a masterfully crafted cinematic dark ambient experience, continuing to expand on the universe that started with the album Fifth Nature. And after that we have a short text which is like a blurb on some pulp sci-fi novel from the 50s. The Inn, having fled from a dying Earth, have charted their own path of exploration to that of Chiria and her followers, searching for a new home. Worshipping the mystical natural powers of the universe, the Inn have traveled to a myriad of planets seeking enlightenment. Every new civilization they encounter speak in awe of Vieltira B and of the mysterious and secretive Vieltirians, a race that can control time, the chronosphere. The Inn quickly discovered that rather than a path to enlightenment, on Vieltira B a path awaits of a far darker kind. Understood by the Vieltirians as an evolving force, time requires great prowess to control, otherwise it can tear apart the very fabric of your being, your soul from your body. The Vieltirians have devised a series of rites of passage all must undergo. These rites are designed to test control of your thoughts and memories across time and of your spiritual and physical being across multiple intersecting timelines. The leaders of the Inn, Atom, Fiat and Eba, agree to undergo these rites, initiates progress through a series of chambers for each rite, with each becoming increasingly more challenging. Recommended for fans of crisp production, psychoacoustic ambience and ethereal atmospheres. I suppose this short story is expanded in the booklet of the physical edition of this album, which release date is December 5th, 2023. Dais Records label have announced a reissue of Moon's Milk in 4 phases, the set of 4 classic EPs by Coil, Spring Equinox, Winter Solstice, Autumn Equinox and Summer Solstice. Well, the order is reversed. The label says that it comes in a beautiful free vinyl box set in matte rigid board, spin slipcase with silver foil lettering and gloss overlay artwork. Includes all 4 original 1998 EPs plus bonus tracks. There was already a CD compilation of these EPs released in 2002, but without these bonus tracks made together with Thighpole Sandra. And for the first time, a vinyl version is available, at least officially, because there were some bootlegs out some years ago, but it's not worth mentioning. In the email from Dais, there were 2 release dates. I don't know which is correct. February 23rd and March 15th, 2024. Okay, a news from Denovali. Here I'll just read the press notes. First one is about Eraldo Bernocchi and Hoshiko Yamane album called Sabi. We are pleased to present the second cooperation album of the Italian composer, arranger, producer Eraldo Bernocchi and the Berlin-based Japanese violinist, composer, electronic producer and Tangerine Dream member Hoshiko Yamane, called Sabi. The record is a unique blend of electronic and acoustic music, with Bernocchi's pulsating textures and Yamane's haunting treated violin melodies weaving together to create a captivating and emotional sonic landscape. Sabi is a Japanese aesthetic that celebrates the beauty of impermanence and decay. It is often associated with the simplicity, austerity and solitude found in nature, and is said to evoke a sense of melancholy, nostalgia and reverence for the passage of time. Bernocchi and Yamane's Sabi explores these themes through a collection of minimalist compositions that combine electronic and acoustic instruments, immersing the listener in a deeply cinematic experience. And the second one from Denovali, Bersarin Quartet System, the fifth album of the imaginary German quartet, as always via Denovali. Although the title System suggests a perhaps rather distant Cool album, it is the most personal and concentrated soundtrack so far created by Thomas Bücker from Münster in his E-Smoke Playground studio. In 2008, the quartet still flirted with Cyrillic mysterious melancholy and red wine swilling trackle melancholy. 15 years and 4 albums later, it seems almost cynical to simply continue at this point, because late modernity delivers its very own complex tragedies in real time. Microtonal shifts, polyrhythmic structures, tempo fluctuations and sound aesthetics torn out of context create a fragile, unpredictable foundation, as if Tok Tok, Tim Hacker and Skrillex were making music together and challenging our tolerance for ambiguity. Okay, I forgot to write down the release dates, but soon. The Portuguese The Joy of Nature has announced its final album, The Spectral World of the Joy of Nature. The new album by The Joy of Nature was just released on Digipack by the Portuguese label Antidemocracia. This is an album of psychedelic and ambient folk with some Indian influences, mainly due to the use of the tampura and tabla. It is the end of a cycle, as it develops some of the sonorities that were present on the first The Joy of Nature's records, but takes it to new territories. The first part of the record is more song-oriented, while the second part is a sound trip to other realms, sometimes with a meditative character. It's less melancholic and dark than previous records, and it's a reminder of how this world was once pure and magical, and how this past world can still come to life. And personal note, The Joy of Nature is a very important project to me. It was the album of this project back then as The Joy of Nature and Discipline that I received the first promotional CD to review ever in 2006, I think, or 2007. It was a reissue of their debut, The Fog That Life Is Haunted By. The original work was released by Ripping Horde in 2003, and the reissue by Bunker Records 3 years later. I immediately loved that album. Also, one of my very first interviews was conducted with Luis Couto, a mastermind of the project, and his music accompanies me throughout all these years. Portugal ambient industrial neo-folk scene is not particularly numerous. Let me think. Carnos, Wolfskin, World Clock, Sangre de Muedrago, Sangre Cavallum, probably some few more, but it's The Joy of Nature that holds a special place in my heart, and it's a bit sad that it will be his last album. But if Luis feels that he said everything he had to say in this form, it's probably even better that he closes this chapter. on his own terms. The album was released November 30, 2023, of course. New release from Unexplained Sounds group, The Washing Plank Integrale sui Cammini. Haven't heard this one, so I just read the note about this album. The washing plank is a wordplay that arises from the curiosity of connecting everyday objects, such as a simple plank that can be used for washing or storing clothes, with the name of the German physicist Max Planck, the initiator of quantum physics and the repetitive action over time. The inspiration behind these works comes from the principle of path integral, a formulation by Richard Feynman that describes the probability of a particle moving from one point to another within a given time frame. Similarly, the infinite variety of paths that a generative system can create is the basis of the washing plank's first work, Integrale sui Cammini, which means path integral. An album of minimalist experimental electronic music. The album consists of 2 tracks titled Cammino A and Cammino B, Path A and Path B, representing 2 of the infinite possible paths created with the same instruments and generative patches, 2 of the infinite unexpected journeys that begin with the press of the play button and end with the press of the stop button. Released November 30, 2023. What do we have next? Difficult Interaction is an enigmatic label from Los Angeles, and their 3 latest offerings are Murderous Vision, Amor Fati. Murderous Vision is a long-running project by Stephen Petrus, and it's combining various forms of dark industrial or post-industrial music. And Amor Fati is, as the musician describes it, an album cloaked in fear, uncertainty, relief, sorrow, and uplift. There's more on the label's Bandcamp, but these are quite personal words, so if you want to know more, check Difficult Interactions Bandcamp. There are some guest appearances on the album, like Erin Powell from Owen, and the album comes in 2 editions, the regular and the special one, which is vinyl. Live in Pittsburgh, 30 minutes CDR in handmade sleeve, exact replica of the source tape, and artist photo print. The second from Difficult Interactions is a short vinyl EP by Gnot, Torch Smoke and Rope. Andrew has released a full album on the written Santa Sangre blog a few weeks ago. It was Gnot Subterranean Rights, if I'm not mistaken. And this one, Torch Smoke and Rope, following the path forged in 2020 landmark album Subterranean Rights. Yes. Grant Richardson returns from the depths of his literal and conceptual explorations of civilization's darkest crevices with 2 new tracks of tightly controlled atmosphere and vacuous creeping dread. And the third one is a vinyl album by Livewire called Judge, Jury, Executioner. In the music economy of 2023, it's more than a little unusual for a noise project who rarely plays live and has only 3 tapes to their name to drop a widely available LP pressed on custom color vinyl. But Livewire is no ordinary project. Livewire is the collaborative collision of Wyatt and Laurie Howland, 2 long-time veterans of the noise scene with over 40 collective years in the game. Unapologetically in the red and equally brutal and nuanced, Judge, Jury, Executioner is an unmissable introduction to a project that should require none. All 3 release date was December the 1st. On November 24th, on the other hand, was the premiere of the album by Fawn, Limbs and Nadja. vestigial spectra, taking influence from a variety of styles ranging from grindcore to doom and from noise to ambient. Vestigial spectra blends its components seamlessly to produce an entirely novel aural field that simultaneously is both a dynamic and thought-out craft and a wall of noise-esque, seemingly directionless leviathan. Whether slow, fast, or free of pulse and time, every single second on the album is as important as the ones preceding and following it, making vestigial spectra first and foremost a cohesive and consistent entirety. I need to give it a few more listens because I've listened to it 2 or 3 times, but it will probably enter the list of my favorite releases of this year. But it's a great combination of precise mathematic, almost soulless approach by Fawn limbs, and maelstromic yet atmospheric chaos by Nadja. It's a very intense stuff. Released by Roman numeral on vinyl in United States and on CD, and Wolves and Vibrancy on vinyl in Europe. The album will also be available on highly limited tape edition via Stahlwerk Records. Okay, 2 live shows news. If you live in Croatia or Slovenia, because as far as I remember, Zagreb is close to Slovenian border, Milienko from Techom inaugurates the series of ambient evenings with live music. All this under the name Ambientalika, and the first show will take place on December 22nd. And as they write on the event page on Facebook, we have 2 interesting artists for opening evening. Canadian Frederick Arbour, who needs no special introduction, with his currently one of the most famous labels with many genres of ambient music, Cyclic Low Records and Project Visions. And the second one is Portuguese artist Ivo Schaubento and his project Velge Natürlich, coming from Holland-based ambient label Winterlight. You see, another Portuguese musician of whom I forgot while discussing The Joy of Nature a few minutes ago. And the second one, after the success of the first edition of Rituals over Limburg, the lineup of the second one has just been revealed. The lineup, I must say, very tempting. Emmeja, Vortex, Schlosstegal, Namkhar, Dödsang Temple, Black Vault, Alone in the Hollow Garden, Schmerz and Erlösung, and 2 secret acts to be announced. And as they say, the organizers, Dunkelheit Productions, once again we promise to present you the absolute pinnacle of ritual, esoteric, industrial and ambient. From some of the absolute top players to small but exquisite newcomers and audial obscurities, they will all be brought together to evoke the pure magic of audial bliss. Delve into a dark subconscious and reach for deathless light as you participate in this two-day event in Limburg, Holland, situated only a few minutes from the German border. As was the case before, we expect a large amount of guests from all over the world, and tickets are limited, so be quick and place your order now. It may be a good opportunity to move my ass from home and visit Holland on this 15th, 16th November 24 weekend. We'll see. Okay, the movie section. I don't know if anyone made it this far. It's already 19 minutes, but if so, let me know in the comment or something, and if you're interested in these movie recommendations, because if not, I'll just leave it. Today a few words about Polish post-apocalyptic sci-fi W nich Cała Nadzieja. It's a Polish title which means the last spark of hope, directed by Piotr Biedroń. After the end of the climate wars, we follow Eva, probably the last person on Earth. She lives in some kind of a camp on a desolate wasteland with a guardian robot named Arthur. It's Polish robot. The days are filled with never-ending boredom. She's just searching for supplies, growing plants, and longing for a human company. Because this robot is AI, and you can converse with him, but you know, talking with him is like talking with a slightly more advanced chat GPT. So one day this girl forgets to check the security password, which is changed every 3 months for security reasons. And this password is obligatory to enter the camp, and the conflict begins. Our robot doesn't allow her to return to the camp, and basically the rest of the movie are the subsequent attempts to outsmart the machine. The Last Spark of Hope is a movie not without flaws, but I liked it. Sometimes even very much so. Sure, there was too much exposition in the dialogues, and some of the dialogues sound quite naive, you know, as if teenager wrote them. I wasn't always convinced by this girl's acting. It's Magdalena Wieczorek, I think, the name of the actress. But on the other hand, it manages the small budget very efficiently. I mean, it looks great, really. Also, it's a well-told story, and at the end, something caught my throat, really. The robot design is pretty cool. It's like a mix of WALL-E and Mark 13 from Hardware, with the retro touch straight from the Polish 80s fantastic shows. Also very nice music. It's like Klaus Schulze meeting Vangelis. It's really great that something like this was created, because Poles don't really make movies like this. And I've watched a lot of post-apocalyptic sci-fi, B-class sci-fi movies from all around the world in the recent years, and I would say that this one is better than 70, maybe 80% of them, so I think it deserves more than just kudos for trying. If you have the opportunity to see it somehow, somewhere, I recommend it. Okay, 23 minutes, time to finish this video. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.